All right, now we make a quick turnaround because this topic, I guess, could be related to other people's diets. Nothing related to Montgomeryan. All right, diabetes, whether you know this or not, affects more than 29 million Americans. It is the 7th leading cause of death in the United States. More than 8 million people go undiagnosed. With me today, Dr. Artie Singh from Worthington Health Solutions to talk about his natural approach to diabetes. Good to have you here.
I'm glad to be here, Sean.
Natural approach to diabetes. You know, for most people who live their lives with insulin injections, pricking their finger how many times during a day, and pretty much they end up surrendering themselves to the idea diabetes the rest of your life. How can you change that?
You know, that's what most people think because, you know, you're told when you're diabetic, hey, you're going to be a diabetic for the rest of your life.
Right.
But that's not true. The reality is diabetes is really a lifestyle type of an illness or a disease. And there are many things that we do that contributes to eventually your hormones going out of balance. And then the problem with diabetes is that most often how it gets treated in this country is basically treating the effects of diabetes, which is the high blood sugars. And the medications, drugs, all those are designed to bring that down, but it doesn't get to the root cause of that issue. So I don't treat diabetes in my office. I really have many diabetics that are patients in my office, but we really get to the root of what's really causing the problem.
So we come into your office, what is a blood test first, the diagnostic?
Well, a lot of them already have blood tests done. If not, then obviously we're going to do some blood testing because I really don't diagose diabetes. Most of my patients that show up are already diagnosed. They already have it, unless they're, you know, pre-diabetic, and then so then you see things like that. But the reality is this, Sean, it is a lifestyle issue that can be reversed, okay, and also can be prevented. But the reality is most people don't know how. Right. Because they say, but if we continue with the trends we're on right now, that by year 2050, that 1 in every 3 Americans will be a type 2 diabetic.
Now, a lot of people just think it goes hand in hand with obesity. Is that true?
Obesity is the effect of diabetes, but it's true. But there are a lot of skinny diabetics out there also. But mostly when we think of type 2 diabetes, we definitely do think of obesity because that's an insulin and what's called leptin. Those are hormones that eventually then go out of balance. Right. And then that continues to, you know, the magnitude of the disease just continues to be magnified by those, you know, by eventually having hormonal imbalances. So
you have a natural solution to this?
Yes.
And that's just by monitoring diet and what else?
Well, a number of different things. Number one, obviously, is looking at the diet. I mean, that's important.
Holding someone accountable, too.
Absolutely. Because a lot of times, you know, you're told count carbs or you're told different advice, but it doesn't work well. It has to be the right advice, you know, for that person. So what we do is we actually counsel them on how to eat and how to eat right. Number one. And number two, we have a technology in our office that really gets to the root of what's driving the diabetes. You know, it's stressors that can affect your adrenals, that can affect cortisol, which then affects your sugar, okay, to the hormones that I talked about. So then we're able to pinpoint where that issue is coming from. So then we can use nutritional aspects of things like homeopathics and nutritional supplementation also to help, you know, address and change that around for them.
Give us some testimonial type, great, can you give us result stories?
Sure, I can give you a couple because, you know, people always ask, you know, if I'm on insulin, if I'm an insulin-dependent diabetic, am I going to become a non-diabetic? The answer is no, you can't become a non-diabetic, but you can get a better handle on your diabetes. Okay. I have one, Richard, he was, you know, 50 pounds overweight. Basically what he did, he was able to not get off his insulin, but he was able to reduce that by 2/3. Oh, that's a big deal. And he lost, I think, about 45 pounds in the process. Perfect. You know, he's on an insulin monitor, but the point is, insulin pump, that there are days that it doesn't even...
He's not dependent on it
like he was before. He's going to need it forever, but he's not dependent on it.
Before we let you go, I know you have a workshop, and it's coming up Wednesday, is it? A dinner?
Yes, this is, you know, it's all about education. Okay. Because I really want to educate my diabetics, you know, even if they don't end up in my office, at least give them some information and maybe make the right choices in their life. Right. And so the dinner workshop is at the Polaris Grill on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, and it's at 6:30. But they need to call my office because seating is very limited. And so 614-436-9355, and they'd be happy to set up an appointment for them.
Terrific. Good restaurant, too.
Oh, yeah. That's one of my favorite restaurants.
Good for you. I'm just going to come hang out.
Please do.
I appreciate it. Good to see you, as always.
Thank you.
And we do have the information up there if you'd like to call right now, RSVP, and you can be part of that. And who knows, maybe change your life away from a life tied to diabetes.